What up, it's Dane. In this video you're going to find out if you have good genetics or not, so it's going to be a make or break video for you. So let's get this, man. And I'm going to use examples of myself and other people just to show you the differences, clear examples, so when you get out of this video you know if you should either use steroids or get new parents or whatever. So let's get it. So number one is muscle attachment, right? So again, like I said, I'm going to use myself. So here you could just compare yourself, say, to me, right? Not that I even suggest anyone comparing themselves to anyone else, which I'll get later in the video. However, this you can just quickly compare yourself, whatever muscle groups you really want to compare, right? So the muscle attachments, obviously the insertions and the origins. The origin is just basically where it starts. So basically, if you want to see if you have good bicep or good arm genetics, you can just do this quickly. Just flex your arm. If you see there, I could just put one finger there, maybe two. That's good. If you could put like 4 fingers in there, you have quite shit arm genetics, right? Let's just face it, let's be honest right here. So if you do that and you can fit like whole hand in there, you might have a better peak than me as well, right? So again, there's pros and cons of everything. However, in most cases, most people like their so-called thickness, their thick arm, right? So if you see my bicep, again, I haven't got a lot of peak, and it's probably because my arms are not really that well developed either. So keep that in mind as well. I'm not saying my arms are big or anything like that, but if I turn to the side, so bear me one sec. Now if I turn to the side, you'll see how much my arm looks a lot bigger like this. If I do that. Now check when I supinate my hand. So if I turn my hand in, that head, it barely looks a lot bigger. So that's basically how you can compare yourself with the muscle attachments, with your arms, with your chest, with anything. And just to clarify, you cannot change your muscle attachments unless you have, I don't even know if surgery can do that shit. Okay, number two is bone structure, and bone structure again is very, very important. Again, I'm going to use a very good example here. I actually got this off Eric Helms of one of his videos about bodybuilding genetics, so credit to big Eric Helms. So this is, I'm going to use example myself and another individual. Have a look at this. So basically, look at how big someone's rib cage is compared to their pelvis, right? So for example, the optimal physique that most people like is the V-taper, the wideness, I guess you could say. And this basically means having a smaller pelvis and then a bigger rib cage, right? Some people have a big rib cage, but they also have a big pelvis, right? So it doesn't give them that the V-taper, right? So if you're a person that's looking to get a V-taper, like an extreme one, maybe like your favorite body, you might consider just holding on for a little bit and just admitting that you can't really get that exact same physique. I'm not saying that you can't get a good physique, however, I'm not saying you can get the exact same physique either. So let's use some examples. Okay, so as you can see, that's me hitting almost the most muscular at just the front end. So that's showing you I've kind of got, I guess we could say, a narrow pelvis, and my rib cage is obviously wider, giving me that V look, giving me the capped shoulder look, right? Whereas when I turn side on and do the side tricep, you wouldn't think my shoulders are bigger or and they look very, very small. So there again, it's just giving you the illusion of how the pelvis and the rib cage affects it. Now, again, I need to clarify, I'm not by any means comparing myself to Eric Helms, right? This guy is so good at like researching everything. I just used him as an example because I couldn't think of anything else, right? And I know he's got a much better physique than me, blah, 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 blah. I know this, I just had to clarify this. So basically, tip number one, or just fact number one, is muscle attachments. You cannot change muscle attachments, right? You just have to accept this. If your bicep is inserting there, then okay, you have shit arm genetics, right? If your, I don't know, chest is like some weird shape, then you don't have good chest genetics. You just gotta accept it. For example, my back genetics is awful. Let me just quickly show you. So that you can see, man, my back genetics are not good at all, right? So one thing as well, the reason being as well why my back probably doesn't look as well as that maybe other people's do is because my lats do insert relatively high up. So again, this muscle attachment. So basically, muscle attachment and bone structure, man, that's gonna play a role. And if you're gonna be like, say, Mr. Olympia, or you're not gonna even make it on stage, right? So basically, and I know some people just want to get in great shape, so that's good. If you watch this video, still try your best, man, like regardless of your genetics. In fact, you can actually see that as a motivating factor, right? So if you have shit genetics, just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. But you still got to understand and you got to accept that you know, you're not going to be Mr. Olympia, you're not going to have the best physique ever in the world. I'm not saying you can't get a good physique. Like I said earlier in the video, you definitely can. So just before we end this video, and I hope you watch this video to this point, I hope every single person has, because this is so important. Never compare yourself to anyone else, because you will lose if you do this. For example, if say, I don't know, some rich guy in my neighborhood or something compared himself to another guy, there'll be another guy, and then another guy. Like, there's always someone better at you than at least, like, say one thing. So you'll never win by comparing yourself to anyone else, except this one. Only recommend you compare yourself to this, for this one exception, right? To find motivation. The only reason I ever compare myself really when it comes to the gym physique is to get more motivated, to push harder. Okay, yeah, I do agree with people here, right? I do sometimes do it too much, and then I get into my head a little bit, and I'm sure a lot of people do the same. So just compare yourself, try to be the best version of yourself day after day after day. So anyway, that's the end of the video. That's like a little day motivational speech, but that's literally how you can determine if you're gonna have a great physique, or the physique or the physique, what can I say, this physique that you really want, man. So that's it. Anyway, if you have shit genetics, anyway, man, just jump on the juice, get the steroids, inject that shit into you. Or yeah, you can't get new parents now, but yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, or change your DNA. So anyway, I'm only joking about it. If you want to take steroids, take it, and if you want to change your DNA, if you can do that, then do so. Stay positive, stay smiling, let's hit the gym, let's get good genetics somehow, and I'll see you in the next one.